Today, we're going to look at four-wheel steer versus dig. Now, luckily for me, Mjolnir here happens to have both four-wheel steer and dig. I'm going to show this to you on the table, give you a brief explanation of it, and get it right out to the rocks. Take a look. This is Mjolnir, and I use a hack FlySky GT3C. 8 channels, it's probably got the best four-wheel steer controls on the market. When you turn it on, you're into four-wheel steer. Push this forward, front steer only. Back, four-wheel steer, and then you push this button down here, and now you're into crab. Push it again, back to four-wheel steer. Pull it back again, and now you're into rear steer only. So when I do this in the four-wheel steer mode, I'll be using all these different modes as I need to. Now, as far as the dig goes, I've got that set up right here. Usually I put it down here, but since this does have four-wheel steering, I can't do that because I like these right here for the four-wheel steering. It's just super fast and I'm so used to it. So we're going to give it a drive here. We're going to lock it up. There we go. Front steer, front wheel drive. Now, when I do the dig part of it, it's going to be this right here. I'm not going to mess with the rear steer. It's just going to be locked out. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And let's get this thing outside. Now, before I actually start the drive, I want to do a quick drive across some rocks and just chat with you guys about the four-wheel steer and the dig. So now there's one thing about this stuff. Number one, whether you have dig or four-wheel steer on your vehicle, you have to learn how to use it. It doesn't matter which one you have. If you use either of the two features incorrectly, it's just going to hurt you. Adding four-wheel steer or dig does not make any vehicle an automatic cheater rig or anything like that. Now, what can make it exceptionally awesome is when you learn how to use it effectively. And I still have a lot to learn, especially with the dig. Now, this particular truck does have obviously both, like I showed you. So, but regardless, you have to drive accordingly. Like when you go around stuff like that, you have to know where that back end is going to turn and where it's going to throw things. And also having a turned rear end or rear steer really changes some geometries and the way torque is applied to the ground, and this changes the way your truck is going to handle. It changes things, and you have to be aware of this. Now, coming down over here, you see that right there. Now, for this particular spot here, I'd probably go with a dig just to bring the front end up and over, but we're going to four-wheel steer this. And we're going to be right over here. But here we are. So I can make this up. Now see, let me get over to the other side. Hang on. At this point, we're going to look at where rear steer could get you in trouble. I'm going to turn it all the way down. And now here we are. You know, that could get you into a gate pretty darn easy. In the same situation, we're going to actually use the dig instead. I'm going to bring that front end over. Notice the back is not dropping down. And then there you are. You come back out of dig. And that was a much better way of getting across that. Because when the belly landed on that, you guys saw how the whole vehicle just turned and pivoted. That, you can use that to your advantage from time to time. But a lot of cases, that's just going to put you into a gate. So right here, let's look a little bit farther. See, now we're going to end up into a belly out situation right here. We could throttle over it, you know, just bounce over it, but that could put us on there. So what we're going to do here is come into a crab. And we're going to walk that all the way over. See, like that. Now we're going to take it back to four-wheel steer and walk right up. So we're going to try that same thing with dig. Okay, I'm pretty much back in the same position. The rear end is digged out. Let's see what happens here. I'm gonna try a little bit of backup. All right, that worked a little bit right there. Now we're set here. I'm gonna take it out of dig. And there we are. In some situations, you get up on a hill, kind of like this, and there's a gate at the bottom, and then there's an offset gate up at the top. I really should set gates for this, but what we're gonna do is go into crab mode. Once you clear that gate, you can do this number right here, walk sideways, and then you can actually make it right through the last gate. And it depends on, you know, the gate setup, of course. Now we're looking at this right here. The goal from this point right here, I'm gonna do this both in 4-wheel steer and in dig. The goal is to get on here facing this direction right here. We're gonna try it in 4-wheel steer only right here. And hope I can get back into the same position when I do the dig. Now you get this up, go ahead and get this started early. And that back end comes all the way around. Nice and controlled. And there we are. Time for dig. All right, I think I'm in the same position. Now we're back into dig mode here, just front steer only. What I'm going to attempt to do is to swing a little bit wide here, and then I'm going to let this back tire kind of catch right there. So now I'm into dig mode. Let that front end pull around, or so I thought. There we go. Now I'm going to go back into 4-wheel drive mode, and it should pull right on up. There we go. To get into the nasty, there's a few ways, because once you're right here, the best way is to come at it really straight on that way. That way the back end is close to that rock wall. And since I'm still in dig from the last part, we're going to try that as well. Swing way out there, lock the dig into place, and let this front end do the pull just like this. I'll do this with 4-wheel steer as well. So now we're going back into 4-wheel drive, and we're going to ease off into this. Now the nasty is known for not liking 4-wheel steer vehicles. It just isn't, or it just is not a good thing. I'm going to try the top side right here. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of a grip. Good right there. I know Optimus 3 can get this line right here, but we're going to try it. I honestly don't know. Looks like Mjolnir is going to get that. Now I'm going to try to take this all the way to the far side over there, and I got to release my steering to get my dig in. All right, see that? I took it up way high. Now we're going to go, get back out in 4-wheel drive. Just like that. Now, right here, you see this point right here? Hopefully you guys have noticed I've done this already a few times. You get a physical hold on a tire. It just physically holds it. You can see the tire itself just physically holding it. Now we're going back out into 4-wheel drive. And now we've got the crack of doom, which is quite possibly one of the hardest things on the entire course. All right, the back end fell down. That's actually a good thing. So now I got to get this up right here. So I got to get that to hook right there. Get this to drop in right here. Now this right here usually hurts with the 4-wheel steer for some reason. It just doesn't like it. So we're going to see if I can somehow manage to get across the crack of doom. Okay, we're going to get the crack of doom. And pretty much the rest of it is just kind of a little bit of throttling and all of that. When you get up to here though, if the vehicle doesn't make that climb, what you can do, and I've had to do this before, use the dig and it'll actually preload that front end. Let me see if I can show that to you guys real quick. All right, so now we're in dig mode. See how it just loads everything down right there? Look at that tire. So now we're going to try to come out of it. What it did was it loaded that front end. It just pulled good and solid, locked the front end down on the rocks. And that was an easy way up with a dig. So here we are with four-wheel steering. I'm going to get it up to here. I'm going to crab it, bring everything over as much as possible. And then going to go back into four-wheel steering and try to bring that front end over, around, and get it set up to come in. Just like that. Now we're going to ease into it and see what that back end is doing. That back end is going to turn off the edge. So what I'm going to do is go into front steer only, and hopefully I'm not too far over. No, looks like we're going to be all right. I can get that back end to settle just about right. Now let's see if I can get that same line again. It's quite the challenge to get this line, in all honesty. There we go. Now at this point I used a dig before, so we're going to go back to four-wheel steer, bump it back just a little bit. If I can get the back end down and over just like that. Now we're coming up and over. Use that slider and turn it right on around, and down we go. Now we're getting into the crack of doom. And this is where it just really does not like the four-wheel steer trucks. So I'm going to go back to front steer only to keep that back end from coming off. But then once I get down here to the bottom, I'm going to turn the rear steer back on and try to get the back end as low as possible, which sometimes just doesn't work out very well. Looks like I might be in good shape this time. So here we are there. Now I'm going to go back into crab mode. All right, see, I am just getting all kinds of messed up right here. And it's, I'm over. This is going to crash. If it doesn't crash, I'll be surprised. It's over. Let me set it back up there. And let's see what we can do now. I'm going to continue to try to use that rear steer to bring that back end down if I can. Because if I get that back end down, it'll actually help. Oh, now I'm all the way out. But okay, we're going to get right back into it. Now I'm going to crab the thing over. Try to keep that back end down as far as I can. Wow. All right, looks like we may be settling down. If I can get that front end to settle down into it. All right, looks like we may be in good shape here. There we go. Woo, that was quite the challenge. So now we're going back into four-wheel steer. See if I can work the back end over, down. Now we're going to do the front steer only. And there we are. All right. Well, guys, it's basically going to come down to what do you want to do. You got the dig, which I do feel is more common, especially in modern days. You got the 10.3 that comes with the dig. The Gladiator comes with the dig. The Capra. I mean, heck, in the local RC scene here, dig was pretty much a forgotten about thing until the Capra came about. And then the 10.3 and then the Gladiator. So that kind of brought dig back into the limelight, you know, or the spotlight. So, and hopefully I was able to show you guys the differences of how dig can get the same line that four-wheel steer can. You know, they both completed, but they were different. You know, different the way the truck pitched, rolled, and all that. Both dig and four-wheel steering can get you into trouble if you don't use them correctly. I've been in a lot of trouble with them. I've competed and zipped that rear steer just a little too much, not thinking about it. turn the back end right into a gate. You're like, I'm like, ugh, it happens. But regardless, hopefully I was able to show you guys some of the more obvious differences between the two. And, well, anyway, we got to drive Mjolnir too. So guys, check that description for affiliate links: AMain, eBay, Amazon, Horizon. Most of this is a Capra driveline with a Spare Time Hobbies chassis. The Whiskey V2, I believe it is what they've got out now. So this is kind of an older chassis. So, but anyway, check that description, use those links, make sure you're subscribed. Thank you all for watching all the way to the end. If you're watching this, you're awesome. Guys, catch you later. Guys, if you like what you see, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. So, in the description, there's a link to become a channel member. If you want to become a channel member, it's a very simple $2, $5, $10, or if you really got some money, $25 a month. It's a simple way to support the channel. So, get that, and I am doing monthly giveaways for members only, so you might want to consider it. So, guys, use those links. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you all for watching.